Okay, good evening, everybody. Good evening, and welcome to the call for the evening. And just as a reminder, our Monday night sales call will now be on Wednesday, right? So I think what would happen was Dwayne, he's actually in the air as of right now and can't make it to the call. So rather than have one of us missing, we decided to just push it out until Wednesday evening. So Wednesday evening at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Wednesday. Sorry, I'm closing up windows on my PC over here, so I don't mean to look distracted. Wednesday at 7, we will have our normal sales call. So if you are looking for all of us, we will be getting together with you on Wednesday, right? So tonight, what we're going to do is we're just going to talk about a few technical things. And this is probably more of something that I have been promising to do on sales pages that I've been not putting off, just haven't been able to complete a training in time in order to do it. So I specifically want to cover sales pages. A little of this is going to be toward those of you with Genius software. I know I've been talking about doing that. And obviously, not everybody here has Genius Marketing Pro or Genius Trainer Pro. However, you are going to benefit from kind of going through this process of being able to edit a sales page. Now, of those of you who are here, how many of you all would say that you maybe you know a little bit of HTML so that you had to change the code in something, right? If you had to change the code in something, then you'd be comfortable doing that, right? So if you had to change the code in something, and you had to do that, how many of you all would be comfortable doing that? Yeah. So yeah, if you say, Charles, yes, I'd be comfortable if I had to change the code either on a HTML page or in Genius Marketing Pro, I would say I am. So type in the number 1 if you'd say, yes, Charles, I'd be comfortable. Okay, Helen says she'd do just enough to be dangerous. Okay, Dana, you'd be a little comfortable. Okay, Jonathan, we'll see you on Wednesday. So again, let me just kind of repeat. If you're just coming in, will be our normal sales call, right? With Dwayne and myself will be on Wednesday at 7, right? Dwayne's in the air. I have weather problems, and so we were not going to be able to coordinate tonight. So this is just for those of you who are coming in. We're going to cover sales pages tonight. Okay, so some of you all would be okay with this. So I'm gonna fly through just a couple of things here, and I'm gonna pull up my screen here. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go inside of. Well, first let's just open up. Let's just open up a product here. And I'm going to share my screen with you. And I've got a standard resale rights, and I'll size this up so you can see it. Yeah, sorry about that, Jerry. That was user error. That was my fault. Yeah, I was moving a little too fast through the screen and just trying to rush and get things done, and then I didn't change the date. Yeah, that's what happens when you get close to 50, right? So, all right. So let's go into this. Now I'm going to open up the product creation sales page and actually, this is actually going to be a good exercise because I don't have Dreamweaver on here. So what I'm going to have to open this up, and I'm going to open this up, and we're going to open this with Let's open this with Notepad. Yeah, I was able to fix it up there, Jerry. Thank you. I appreciate that, brother. Okay, so let's see. I think I can open this with Notepad, but instead, let's do this. Let's just go inside of Genius Marketing Pro, and that's really what I wanted to do. And I know a lot of you all are here. You already have the software, so I'm gonna open up Genius Marketing Pro. I'm gonna do a couple of exercises inside of here. Okay, so now let's do this. Let's go inside of a page here. And we're having a little bit of internet speed here here in Harrisburg. A few problems with our internet speed tonight, so I'm gonna try to close some things up here for you. And let's see. Oh boy, well, I'm having problems with my internet speed here tonight. So if I can't get in here, let's see. We'll do this another way. Okay, yeah, I understand that, Daniel. I'm having a few. We haven't quite gotten quite gotten clear here. Haven't quite gotten clear for our internet speed, so I'm going to try to do this another way. And okay, so how many of you all already have an HTML editor? Right, so if you have an HTML editor that you use, or you use Dreamweaver, please put the number 1 in the question box if you have one. How many of you all already have one? I'm going to size this up for you. If you already have a HTML editor, okay, so all of you all do. Okay, or some of you do. Okay, so what I'm going to do, this is a new PC, so I'm going to go ahead and just download. I'm going to download NVU. I don't have time yet to put Dreamweaver on here, so let's go ahead and just download NVU. And NVU, yeah, Notetab Pro can be an HTML editor, Dana. Some people do use that to edit their HTML. So yeah, you can use HTML. So I'm going to go ahead and install NVU. Again, typically I would use Dreamweaver, but I don't. There's a new PC and I don't have it on here yet. And I'm having trouble getting to anything that's internet connected today. Okay, so let's go ahead and install NVU. Okay, and while you do that, I'm gonna keep trying to get connected over here off screen. All right. So if you don't have an HTML editor, NVU.com is actually free, right? And so you can definitely use NVU.com. And here is your HTML editor. right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up, I'm actually going to open up a file so that you can see it. And let's see, before we were using, let's see, an R. Let me find, we'll find a sales page that we're using here. Okay, looks like I'm able to, I think I'm able to get connected now. Looks like I'm able to get here. So, okay, sorry about the, sorry for the confusion. Looks like I am, yeah, I've got, I've got a new PC, and so I'm a little discombobulated tonight, but okay, but I'm able to get connected now, I think. Right, and so let's go to create a new page here, and then let's go and let's just create a blank new page. And then let's do this. Let's just pull in page contents, because this is really what I want to kind of show you here. And I'm going to size this up so you can see it. Okay, so now this is your standard page in page in Genius Marketing Pro. And if I click inside of here, what you're going to notice is that I'm going to go to this area, and I'm going to be able to see the same page in terms of the source code and the HTML. Okay, so how many of you all have been able to get this far in Genius Marketing Pro? You've been able to find the code. So if you wanted to change the actual code, and actually, whenever you're going to change the look of a page, it's really better to use the code, right? And I realize that not everybody is versed in HTML. All you really need to know is just enough to be dangerous. You don't have to know everything, just enough to make a few changes and pretty much to center things, right? So how many of you all have been able to get to this far in order to make changes, right? Just so you've been able to get to the source code. You know how to access the source code in order to make changes. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at this area, right? And so one of the things I know that I want to do here is I want to center this, and I can center this by highlighting everything and clicking this button. But the best thing for me to do is for me to go here, right? And for me to center this with HTML. Oops, I didn't quite save it there. Let's see. Okay, you still can't read. Can you not see this, Daniel? Okay, can everybody see my screen? I try to size it up a little more. Okay, does that make it a little more readable? Okay, all right. So then if you're going to change this text to your actual to your actual headline, one of the ways that you can kind of trick the code is that if you want to use the WYSIWYG editor, and one of the easier ways to do this is, and one of the things that I do to save time is, I will start with my wording in between the two letters that are already there. Because if you erase this L and you erase this T, you can actually erase the code that goes with it. And so one of the ways that you can do this without changing the code is that you can go inside of here and you just put your code, or you put your new code, your new letters inside of the code that's already existing. Okay, and so that's one of the ways that you can trick the code. You write your headline inside of the words with the two letters on the outside, and then you can go back and take the two letters out. Right, and you can do the same thing with this headline or the subheadline. You're going to go inside of the code, but don't erase the code. So right, yeah, that will easily cost you a lot of time, Elaine, is to be able to put that code inside of the letters. And so that's an easy way to kind of keep from having to go in and adjust everything every time you go in. So you can do that. Now, when you actually make changes to the actual wording, you want to be careful, and you want to be able to go back and forth and just check to make sure that what you want to be there is actually there, right? So if you see something that's outside of maybe some of the code, you'll be able to see it pretty clearly. So if one of your words falls outside of this area and it's actually formatting differently, all you're going to need to do is to go back inside of this code and make sure that everything that's happening inside of this area here are the words that you want to be there, right? So you don't have to know code in order to use this. You just need to be able to look at it and tell that the code is wrong, right? So don't fuss too long with the WYSIWYG editor. If you see it and it's not quite what you want it to be, go inside of the code and make sure then that all the words are formatting inside of this format that you set up. Okay, does that make sense, everybody? Okay, so what I just said about staying inside of the letters, number one, and number two, formatting inside of the code makes sense. If those two things make sense to you, please put the number 2 in the question box. if that makes sense to you. Okay, so now you've got a couple of choices here. If, let's say, what you wanted to do was you wanted to put in a sales video, right? There are a couple of choices to do that. Now, whenever you're using a page like this, you can actually go and take out all of this code, or all of this code and the button, and then that content's going to be saved. You go ahead and save this. Okay, so Dale is asking, is this code special, or can you put your own HTML in the box? Yes, you can put your own HTML in the box. So let's do this. I'm gonna go and grab a video from YouTube, and let's just say your video from YouTube was your sales video, right? So you'd go and grab this video. You'd grab the embed code. Okay, good evening, everybody. Grab the embed code. You copy it. And what you could do is you could embed the code inside of here, right? You could embed the code inside here. Now, it just so happens that in the drag and drop editor, right, you can actually put a video in here, right? So in this particular case, I would opt to put the video in here myself using this code rather than coding it, right? And so just take out the coding and then just add in the URL and just let it autoplay, right? But I could get this embed code and I could use it. But in this particular case, it's going to be easier for you to get the video code, put it in here, make it autoplay, and hit save. Right now, whenever you do this, and I think I've covered this before on a previous call, and when you actually put this on a sample page, the video is not going to appear correctly. It's not going to appear correctly until it's on your page. But yes, you can put your own HTML code in there, Dale. You can, but again, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to be checking to see how it actually appears. And one of the things that I do when I do this is that I will check to see how my code is looking, and then how my stuff is looking when I place it in there, right? Because if you have to reduce something, if you have to go back and change something, you just want to kind of do it as you go. That's what I would say to you. Right, so now, one of the things that I'm going to show you here inside of this code in particular is our video. Okay, and so one of the things you're going to notice is that this YouTube video does have some coding in there, right? It has a height measurement, and it's going to measure 100% of the width because the page is responsive, right? Does that make sense? So it's going to measure 100% of the width, so it'll respond to the page, and it's going to measure the height at 565. But this video player is really designed to match whatever the browser that comes to the page in order to access it. So that's why this code is set that way. Now, if you change this code, and you certainly can change this code, right? You can change the height of the video, but it's really designed to size down when a different browser, let's say an iPod browser or an iPhone browser, accesses it versus a Windows, a Windows-based player. can you use a custom player? In some cases, Bill, a custom player will work with the coding. In other cases, there are some custom players that at this point do not work, right? And so the best thing I think, and I'm not sure about this, I haven't tested the VU player. I think the VU player will work. And I have not tested Easy Video Player. I think VU player works. Okay, good question. Okay, so again, I mean, if you're gonna change this, you're gonna change the side of this. If you're gonna change the size of this, just know that you're gonna have to check this to see how it's gonna act in the other browsers, right? Because it's really designed to size this way based on another browser. So, do I know if Easy Web Video now is that? Easy Web Video, I have not tested that, Dana. I'm familiar with Easy Video Suite and VU Player. Simple Video Player, that's Nick LaPala's player? I don't know the answer to that. Yeah, I have not tested Simple Video Player. I think that's Nick LaPala's player, if I remember correctly. I don't own that one and I haven't tested it. Yeah, okay. I'm pretty sure that VU works, and of course YouTube. But okay. Okay, so now one more thing I did want to show you with the code in particular was the opt-in. Okay. And of course, now the form will do some of the work for you, right? And so will the WYSIWYG editor. In this particular case, one of the things that you want to do with this particular form is to just kind of make sure that now when I use this opt-in form, I will actually use the WYSIWYG editor, right, and try to keep this one as simple as I can. Right now, you know, all the other areas that are on here are pretty much, this is the one aspect of the form that if you want to kind of keep this one to the WYSIWYG editor, I do use that only with the WYSIWYG editor. If you don't want to use this form, you can always delete this one and then come back here. And what you can do is you can actually put your HTML form in here if you just want to use the one that comes with your autoresponder. Right? If you're going to use the one with your autoresponder, you're going to place it in this area. Right below this division. Right? If you're going to use the Genius Marketing Pro opt-in page, you can actually use this one here. But if you're going to use the one that comes with your autoresponder, you want to go inside of the code, and then you want to put that code in here. Okay, so how would you link to images? Now, Dale, when you ask about images, which image are you talking about? When you say the images, are you talking about images in particular, or you mean images in general? right? And so while he's answering that, because primarily the easiest way to do images, right? The easiest way to do images, you'd probably not necessarily do the code here. You'd probably put your cursor down here and then put insert image, right? And then you'd I think you can use your gallery, or you can actually upload your image here. How would you link the images to your own opt-in page? Well, when you put the code in, Dale, when you put the code in, it should pick up those images from your opt-in page, right? So if you put in your opt-in page from Aweber, right? When you put in your opt-in page from Aweber, it's going to actually pick up that entire image from Aweber. So if you create the autoresponder in Aweber, it's going to pick up the images that are there, and it's going to deposit them here, right? Wherever you insert them inside of this page. Right now, if you're talking about images that you want to appear on this page that are not related to your opt-in page, you would insert the image here and then upload them. That's right. Okay, so if you were recreating a PLR page, you would insert that image using this insert image bar on the WYSIWYG editor. Right? Okay, yeah. So if you were trying to recreate I don't know, any particular PLR page, you need to be able to access that image on your hard drive from here. Okay, we are at about 9:35. And so again, I don't want to keep you much longer unless you all have other questions. Okay, any other questions about just kind of working with these sales pages and HTML? So again, I mean, the moral to the story is that you want to be familiar enough with the code to just look at it, right? To just be able to look at it and make adjustments. And this is the best place to make an adjustment, right? You want to make an adjustment here if something is not working right, right? And you should be able to look at the letters and the code just to be able to make sure that everything is in one area. If you're trying to make, because what will happen is you'll make a change, and then some of the letters you could well, yeah, that's you could actually eliminate these, right? You could eliminate these, Bill. Right? If you wanted to, you could eliminate them. Okay, any other questions? Okay, everybody. Well, on Wednesday, again, at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we'll be doing our standard Genius Marketing call. And we will be there waiting for you. And it'll be all three of us on the call. If you have any questions, technical in nature, you can send them to me. And then I will try to make sure that I cover them again on Wednesday. Okay, are there any other questions, technical in nature? Okay, everybody. Well, thank you very much for your time and for being here. Have a great night and pleasant tomorrow. Take care.